Rachel's Costume Creations has two product lines, machine-made costumes and handmade costumes. The company assigns $96,000 in manufacturing overhead costs to two cost pools, power cost and inspection costs. Of this amount, the power cost pool has been assigned $38,400 and the inspection cost pool has been assigned $57,600. So let's get that documented before we go any further. So we have these two pools, power and inspection. The power pool has $38,400 that has been assigned to it. And the inspection pool has $57,600 that has been assigned to it. Okay. Additional information about each line, each product line is provided below. Sales, direct labor, and material cost, units produced and sold, machine hours, square feet, material orders, quality control inspection hours, and then we have the questions. Allocate the manufacturing overhead from the activity cost pools, which are these two pools, power and inspection, to each product line. Use what you believe are the most significant cost drivers from the information provided. All right, so for potential cost drivers, we have units produced and sold, machine hours, square feet, material orders received, and quality control inspections. So for power, which of these makes the most sense? If we're going to allocate power to these two categories of machine-made and handmade products. So for power, I think machine hours. So I'm going to change the color here, and I'm going to put machine hours here. Is the best allocation for the power category. And for inspections, I think inspection hours make sense. All right. So for machine hours, the machine made get 120 divided by 125. All right. It's 120 out of a total of 125. And the handmade get 5,000 out of 125. Then when it comes to the inspection, then we have these two are our pool. And if we add those together, I get 3125. So I get 2,500 divided by 3125 and 625 divided by 3125. All right. So now what we're going to do is take the 38,400 times the 120,000 divided by 125,000. Hold on. I didn't do that right. Let me start over. 38,400 times 120,000 divided by 125. And I get 36,864. All right, this is money. And then for the handmade, we take the 38,400 and we multiply times 5 and divide by 125, and I get 1,500, 1,536. All right. And if we were to add the 1,500, and that's money too, put a little dollar sign, keep that clear. So I'm going to add the 36,864. So the 1536 plus the 36,864 gets me back to the 38,400. So everything worked there like it was supposed to. And then 15,600 times 2,500 divided by 1,325 gets me 46,080. And if we allocate the inspections out, 57,600 times 625 divided by 3125, I get 11,520. And again, both of these are money. And again, I'm going to just check that math. 11,520 plus 46,080, and I'm back to the 57,600. So all of that worked. Okay. So step one, so A was to determine the type of inspection hours and machine hours that the type of driver that we use for the power and inspection pools. That's what I need to be saying. And then part B says to compute the cost per unit of machine-made costumes and handmade costumes. Okay. So what we have so far is just the overhead allocation being laid out between the two categories. In order to come up with a cost per unit, I need to layer in direct labor and material costs. So we're going to add, so if we add these up, yes, that maybe that's a good first step. If I add these two up, then that will give me overhead. They'll give me total overhead. All right, so let's do that. So we've got that number captured. So 36,864 plus 46,080 gives me 82,944. And then 1,536 plus 11,520 gives me 13,056. So that's the overhead number. And then direct labor and direct materials are provided above, 144 and 120. And if we add these up, then we will have total cost. So 82,944 plus the 144 gets me 226,944. And then the 13,056 plus 120 equals 133,056. All right, so this is total cost. And then I need to take that because this is actually asking for cost per unit. I need to take this and divide this by total units. So total units is this set of numbers right here. So this is divided by 66,736, and this one is divided by 16,632. All right, let's do that math. 226,944 divided by 66,736 is $3.40 per unit. And 133,056 divided by 16,632. It's a nice clean $8 per unit. All right. And then the last part says compute profitability per unit. All right, so this is B. This is cost per unit. That's B. And then C asks for profitability. So what I would do is I would take revenue per unit and then compare that. So let's start with that. So revenue, total revenue number is 360,416. And this is coming from this very top line, right? Right here. And then 199, 584 is the revenue. And then once again, I would divide by units. So 66, 736 and divide by 16, 632. All right, let's see where that puts us. 360, 416 divided by 66, 736. We'll call that $5.40 per unit. And then the 199, 584 divided by 16, 632 is $12 per unit. And so then C actually asks us for profit per unit. So we're comparing the 540 and the 340. So this is $2 per unit, right? And then the 8, the 12 minus the 8, this is $4 per unit. So the machine-made ones make a little bit less money per unit than the handmade ones. The machine-made ones use a lot more power, and the handmade ones use, maybe more inspection hours per unit. I don't know. I'd have to do a little more analysis, but that's the general breakdown for Rachel's Costumes Creations.